Hi, my name is Shiloh Lawrence. I am your math instructor this semester, and I wanted to do a quick review of our Moodle page and a few documents that are posted on it, and then just give you a couple of quick pointers on some things that will help you be successful for this semester. So I'm going to switch over to my Moodle page real quick, and I'm going to move that down to the corner. So let me put this in. Now, my Moodle page is going to look just a little bit different than yours because obviously mine is the instructor page. In our welcome announcement, the first thing I want to point out is if you took Math 171 last semester, then you do not need a new textbook and you do not need a new MyLabs Plus access code. We will be using the exact same textbook that you used last semester. We're just going to be covering a couple different chapters in that textbook, and your access code that you received when you bought that book for Math 71 is still valid. So all you need to do is log into MyLabs Plus, and you are all ready to go. If you took my Math 172 last semester, the textbook has changed, so you will need a brand new book and a brand new access code. Or if you are new to math, if you're new to Nash Community College, or if you tested into Math 172, then you will need a book and an access code. If you have not yet gotten your textbook or your access code, I put this in red here in the welcome announcement. You still need to get logged into MyLabs Plus and get started with your work. There is an option when you first log in to get a free trial period for a couple of weeks. You just have to choose the pay later option when it asks you to enter your access code. And it will give you, I think, about 2 weeks or so. And then in 2 weeks, a message will pop up saying, okay, your free trial's over, enter your access code now. And it won't let you enter it before that. So if you only need a couple of days, you can't enter the access code early. You have to wait out the full 2 weeks. So no excuses and no deadline extensions. Everybody can enter MyLabs Plus now. There is a free trial period. Everybody can get in right now and start working. There are instructions on how to log in. We had a few things due our first week. I will show you our Moodle course is organized. Hopefully, it is very self-explanatory. I've got each week organized into its own individual block here. It is titled with a week number and then a date range. So our first week was only a few days long, but there were only just a couple of really easy, quick things to do in there. I asked you to take just a quick little multiple choice quiz with some questions about the syllabus. It asked some really easy things like, what is my name? What class is this? What day are assignments going to be due on? You were asked to email me from your student email account with a contact phone number, post into the discussion board, introducing yourself to the class, and also answering a couple of other specific things. I also posted a link for a video in here about taking notes using the SQ3R method. Now that's just a resource. There wasn't a quiz or anything. There's nothing for me to check off saying you did it. It's just a resource. And I also actually have it here. Oops, sorry. It's also there in week number 2. And actually, if you look at week number 2, since today is January 14th, we are in week number 2 now. So we are actually starting math this week. We will be starting in chapter 6 and doing 6.1 and 6.2, which these first few sections of chapter 6 are the most important sections of the whole entire semester to get a good, solid, basic foundation and understanding of just the basic trigonometry and what trigonometry is and our basic trigonometric functions. So these are really, really important sections. So I only have you working 2 sections this week. So you will see I've got exactly what you need to do here. I've got some resources listed, some notes and some videos. It says read section 6.1 and 6.2. I've got some video lectures with some notes that go with them. And then I say complete homework number 1 in My Labs Plus. Every single week is exactly like that. It lists a week number, a date range. It says all assignments in this block are due by midnight on Thursday of whatever the last day in that week range are. So this week it's Thursday, January 19th. Everything in this block is due by midnight on Thursday, January 19th. You should also be able to see week number 3 and week number 4. Most likely you can't see anything after that though. I don't have those available yet. I will be making those available soon though. And I will, I'll let you know why when we get to the syllabus here in just a minute. But up in the welcome announcement, we have some of our basic documents, and I'm going to show you what I did with those. But the weekly blocks tell you exactly what you need to be doing for that week and when it is due. So every week you need to start in Moodle, and it will tell you what you need to be doing. Every single week there is going to be something due in My Labs Plus, but be careful. Don't always automatically go to My Labs Plus because there may potentially be something to do in Moodle as well. So the best thing to do is to come to Moodle first and see what the Moodle block says, just so you don't accidentally miss something else that you're supposed to be doing. But there will always be something in My Labs Plus to do because that's where the actual math is. So we're in week number 2, and notice that there's a highlighted box around week number 2. So that's helpful as well to help us distinguish exactly which week that we are in. So these are the things that we should be working on. Notice I do have some video lectures posted for the material this week, but I will not have video lectures for every single thing that we're going to cover all semester long. So that's why up here in the getting to know each other discussion, I asked you to list a resource you would be using this semester because you are going to have to be resourceful. Some people said they like to use YouTube. Other people said they're going to go to the Math Tank. Some people said Khan Academy, or they had their parent was a math teacher, or their best friend was really good at math, or their boyfriend or girlfriend's really good at math, and they were going to tutor them. The one thing I suggest is be open to using lots of different resources. Don't just rely on one resource, and also don't be scared to ask for help. Know when you need help and reach out and get help as soon as you need it. And use lots of different resources. I will not have videos for every single thing that we are doing. But you see, I do have videos to get us started off here to a strong start at the very beginning. And if you absolutely know that you need a video for something and you cannot find a video and you cannot find resources, even though YouTube has videos on everything, email me. I might be able to make you a video real quick. I do warn you though, don't wait until Thursday at 10 o'clock to ask me for a video when homework is due at midnight, because that definitely won't be possible. You need to be working ahead if you want me to be able to get something to you in time. So I'm going to make a separate video for you that's also going to be in this email about My Labs Plus. But hopefully our Moodle page is easy to navigate and understand. And one thing that comes up every single semester, I always have a couple people do really poorly on the first test and come to me and ask me what they need to do to fix this so they don't mess up on the future tests. So I wanted to tell everybody right away at the very beginning of the semester, before they got into that situation, exactly what I tell these people after they do poorly on that first test. is you've got to stay very organized. You've got to take very detailed, very specific notes. What I have done and what I suggest each one of you do is you keep a math notebook, even though you're not coming to campus for lecture, and you're not coming and listening to me lecture, and you're not necessarily taking notes from a lecture. You still need to keep a math notebook. What I suggest you do is you print off your schedule of major assignments, and that is the very first page I have in here. So I know every single assignment that is due and its due date. That way you never miss an assignment. Second page is all of my contact information. That way if you're away from your computer and you need to get a hold of me, you have that available. How to log into My Labs Plus, and I also suggest you write down your login ID and your password. And then the last thing I have in here is the syllabus. The one thing that I want to point out, which is brand new this semester and might be new to a lot of you, you may have not heard about this. On the second page, about halfway down, it says college attendance and administrative withdrawal statement. Brand new this semester, and this is a college-wide policy. If you miss 2 weeks of assignments, 2 consecutive weeks of assignments, you will be automatically withdrawn from the class. There are no exceptions and there are no excuses accepted. You may have gotten in an accident. You may be in the hospital. You may have just had a baby. You may be gone on vacation and did your assignments ahead of time. You have to do something every single week. If you go 2 consecutive weeks without doing anything, you will automatically be withdrawn. No exceptions, no excuses, automatically. If we get audited by the state, if the college gets audited by the state and they see that somebody has missed class for 2 weeks, they must be withdrawn or we will be in big trouble. So the rest of this notebook is about 150 sheets of blank paper organized into sections. And what I suggest you do, what I tell everybody to do, is I've got about 10, 15 pages in each section, and I would label the first section as week number 1. And I would start doing all of my 6.1 notes, and I would label each page here, 6.1 notes. Write all your 6.1 notes, 6.1 notes, 6.1 notes, 6.2 notes, 6.2 notes, 6.2 notes. And then homework number 1, problem number 1, homework number 1, problem number 2. Keep going and going and going. And as you're doing your homework problems, write down the problems, write down the steps, write down the answer, maybe even write down what you're doing and why you're doing it. The reason for this is because when it comes time to take your test, all of your test questions are going to be from the homework. So you're going to get to the test and you're going to be telling yourself, I've seen that problem before. I know I've done something just like that. And you can open up your notebook and you can find almost that identical problem somewhere in your homework that you've already worked out and you've got notes on and you've got it completely worked out and correct. And you'll be like, oh, there it is. I've already done it. And there's the work that I've worked out. So I could do this test problem easily because I know exactly how to do it. I've got it written right here in fine detail, exactly how to do it, completely understandable. And I've kept it all nice and neat and organized. So this is going to be an amazing resource for you if you can keep it nice and neat and organized and detailed. So the next section is going to be week number 2. And in week number 2, we cover 6.3 and 6.4. So you're going to start with 6.3 notes, and you're going to have a few pages of 6.3 notes, and then you're going to have some 6.4 notes. And then you're going to work out your homework number 2 problems. And you're going to write the homework number 2 problems down, and you're going to keep all of the work for that. And then we're going to have week number 3. And week number 3, you have a unit circle quiz. So you're going to write down the work for that. And then you're going to have test number 1. And you might want to keep your work for test number 1. And then you're going to reference back to homework 1 and homework number 2 to help you with test number 1. And that the problems for test number 1 are going to help you on your final exam. So you want to keep all of that nice and neat and organized to help you as you progress through the semester.